you to guess, because I've been struggling a little bit with rendering the next webcast relief here. So currently, it's it has been I had to reset it because something was clearly not working. So
yeah,
I had
something
to,
about like the fonts, I believe, like you mentioned in the webcast relief chat.
Yeah, well, that was overnight. I had it rendering overnight, and that clearly didn't work. So
Oof.
I started like fiddling a little bit with it, because then some time passed, and all of a sudden it was like, oh yeah, we're gonna like this thing is gonna be ready in 25 hours. Like, okay,
Yeah.
hold on, it's not that long. So I've been tinkering a little bit with it, and so now it's been rendering for 41 minutes. I want you to guess how long is remaining still.
I'm going to, given it's one of these things, it's probably going to tell you 48 hours.
Right now it's on 12 hours, so it's an
Okay,
upgrade, I guess.
It's an upgrade, yeah, but at least it's. See, when it gets past an entire fucking clock face, I tend to worry that maybe there's something wrong going on.
Yeah,
because like 12 hours is like a lot, but I guess it's reasonable because you do really long videos in high quality and high definition. So
I think right now is the beginning is really what drives the number up, because it has a lot of rotoscoping where. So it's one thing for me to like green screen myself into a comic, because I'm basically just drawing a mask around like the different elements that I'm hiding behind. But when it's a video where people are moving and stuff, then it's suddenly a lot more like demanding. And so I have some clips with Chris doing whatever she's doing and me appearing behind her. So I had to rotoscope like myself in there, and those only show up in the beginning because I'm trying to get people up to speed about like what exactly the idea guys were, and like kind of set the stage and all that. So I think that that's the reason why this right now it is like so demanding, and then once it has rendered a little more, it will like hopefully it will be like, oh, okay, 12 hours. Nah, fuck that. This is like, we're talking 5 minutes here.
So I'm gonna give you the obvious questions, and why didn't you render out those parts separately and then just put those finished movie files at the beginning of your review?
I'm glad you asked, because it is actually a very good question, and that is because I'm a fucking idiot.
Duly noted.
I hope you weren't expecting anything like technical or anything. It's literally because I'm the dumbest person that ever walked planet Earth.
Okay, so I do have a very minuscule experience with this, because I was because I do like flash animations, and there's only a certain point to where you have so many fucking layers and like keyframes and movies within keyframes that the program starts to lag a fucking bit. However, I learned that it's actually a lot better to just like render out chunks of things and then stitch it all together, like once everything's done, because that kind of cuts down on render time and like processing speed and all that bullshit. Because when you try to do it all, when you try to collect all the floaty pieces and combine it to one fucking video file, your computer kind of wants to fucking die.
Yeah.
A lot.
The issue is just that like it's easier. It was easier to just like take a segment of my older videos and then rendering those on their own before. But now that I have all these cool transitions and stuff like that, it's suddenly a lot harder.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because because the way you're doing it, you're doing like all these effects within like I don't know if you're using Premiere or Vegas off the top of my head, but it's like
Premiere.
Okay, Premiere. It's because you're doing all these effects within Premiere when they're not like fully baked in. it kind of takes a lot of the processing power to like render that and just put it all together when it's fresh. Oh. But if you have just like the whole fucking video done, it's easier to like just and then stitch it all together.
Oh, it goes even further because it's actually so the green screen stuff and all that is actually made in After Effects. So with Adobe Premiere, you can make a linked file that is technically an After Effects file that it is reading in Premiere, so that if I open this file in After Effects, it's gonna update in real time in Premiere Pro. So it is like communicating back and forth with After Effects as it's rendering it, going, "Hey, is he supposed to be here or here?"
You know, I simultaneously love and hate Adobe for that fucking feature because it makes the process so goddamn easy. I can appreciate it. But at the same time, holy fucking god, is it goddamn pain when it comes time to put everything fucking together.
Yeah. I just wish that I had like a better GPU or something, but you know, at least they're going to a good place instead of using it to entertain people and giving them content. Instead, they're going for Bitcoin miners so that they can get more Bitcoins.
Or get hacked as it normally would be in these days.
And lose 25 million?
Yeah. Well, I think that's like the biggest one for like that crypto.com thing that just came up.
Yep. So for those of you who don't know, crypto.com got fucking hacked and lost $25 million worth of Ethereum that is now being just like distributed online.
I like to believe the conspiracy theory where hacked is in quotations, because supposedly a couple days ago, before this shit happened, people were prevented from doing any withdrawals, so they can't change their Bitcoin into actual fucking money. So in my mind, it's like, oh no, this isn't just a hack. These people probably got rug pulled by the end of the day.
Well, good thing that they can go to the cops with the...
Oh
no!
I still find grifters in comments saying, don't blame crypto for this, it still fucking works. When you rob a bank, that doesn't mean that the cash stops working again. There's like a beautiful fucking cope that you see when this happens, and it just... I don't mind when bad people suffer.
No, me neither.
Me neither. There probably could be good people, very stupid people, but at a certain point, you just gotta go... If you try to defend it, get fucked. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you at that point.
Did you fucking see the Bitcoin Island thing?
Oh, I mean the whole fire fest of cryptocurrency, the weird fucking... I saw it. It looks like a fucking... I don't know if you've ever seen like those old like Disney Cruise commercials where they have like the animated characters bouncing around trying to make everything look a lot more fun. Yeah. It was like that, but like really cheaply made, really fucking ugly. And I'm just like... Yo, we're gonna see a lot of fucking idiots stranded on another island in the middle of a hurricane. In like fucking FEMA tents.
I saw like the little animation they had made, and I legit thought that it was like someone taking the piss out of crypto, like a satire or something, and then like I looked into it, like, wait, what, hold on, what? They mean this seriously? People are actually going to be paying like $750,000 just to get a fucking like spot of land on an island these people do not own? What the fuck?
It's beautiful because these people think you buy... I want to see this shit go down because I want to see somebody get like sued. Because these are people thinking they own fucking parts of land when you don't own fucking shit. Because that's not how land ownership works.
It's similar to those people who are like, I'm going to buy this plot of of land in Scotland, so I can now call myself a lord, or whatever it is. Have you seen that advertisements for that shit?
I've seen advertising for that shit, and I'm like, I feel like that's a little bit more, like, credible, because, like, that's just, like, a piece of paper and dumb shit, but, like, it's one of those things where, like, you own this piece of land, you just gotta go stand in it.
Yeah.
And it's, like, a 5 by 5 foot square on, like, a 45-degree incline of a mountain. You just put your flag there, like, this is my land.
So the funny thing about the ad was that they were, like, showing it as if, like, they actually send you this 5 by 5 square foot piece of land with mail. So, like, because, like, in the ad, you just see this dude smack, like, this perfect square piece of soil on his counter, like, ha, look at me. I'm like, great, you bought dirt.
I mean, at least in that situation, you own the fucking dirt.
Yeah.
At least you owned something. Here, people are throwing all their goddamn money for goddamn nothing. Like, I want to see, like, whatever island they're stealing this from, whatever government they're trying to take this from, they just get fucking annexed or some shit. Like, the actual authorities come in and just kick them all out.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Well, we were talking about that with Toei, because, like, they were like, oh, you can they put out a tweet yesterday where it's like, tomorrow we're gonna release a new way for you to enjoy One Piece or something, and everyone was just like, it better not be fucking NFTs, it better not be NFTs, and you and I were talking about, like, make it NFTs, just so these fucking idiots who, again, just like to set the stage. So people, some time ago, a few days ago, some people bought some, like, a book or something about Dune as an NFT.
Oh yeah.
and legit thought that they now owned the Dune franchise. And so we were talking about how we want people to have that same mindset when buying these, like, Goku NFTs or whatever the fuck, because if there's one company that is overzealous in terms of, like, copyright and shit, it's fucking Toei.
I mean, technically it's the parent company Shueisha, but no, that's essentially, you're entirely right. Like, you think Nintendo is bad about stabbing fans in the fucking chest about, like, content they put online? These people, like, destroyed an entire man's, like, livelihood, totally not Mark, by taking down, like, over 1,000 videos that he's been making since probably around the start of, like, mid 2010s.
Yeah.
And, like, all that shit is gone. All that shit is fucking gone. Because out of this, they decided, okay, we're gonna get all this copyright shit on our ass. And I'm like, oh yeah, go. No, you go ahead.
And like the thing that make me upset about that, because, you know, to some extent, I'm always, like, pussyfooting a little around, like, when people come and say, like, oh no, you can't do this when you're using footage from, like, this brand new anime or movie or something. Then I'm always a little like, you're in the wrong, but I can see why you would think that or something, because this is clearly fair use. But I get where there is a discussion to be had, but where I start losing my fucking mind is that Totally Not Mark here got claims on videos that was just him drawing characters, like, given they are Dragon Ball characters. But it's his drawing. There's no, there's nothing there that you can copyright.
Yeah, it was just some people, because, like, again, we shit on like NFTs, but, like, we can also agree that, like, there are just certain laws that are just made to be abused because they just haven't been updated in a fucking century.
Yeah.
So that's understandable that, like, greedy motherfuckers are gonna just abuse people in these situations and just, like, oh, this is my property, I'm gonna take everything you're worth. That's just something that just fucking happens, and we hate it, and it needs to fucking stop. But when we were talking about, like, how we relate this back to NFTs, I want to see all these dumbass motherfuckers thinking they suddenly own One Piece. And they could just, like, mint it, do whatever shit they're doing to, like, grift all this money. Just so Shueisha can come up to them and take them in court for every single fucking thing they're worth. Because it doesn't matter if you're gonna say anything about, oh, they can't do anything about the money I'm minting. They're not gonna work. They don't give a shit about that, about whatever you're minting. It's the image that you're fucking with.
Have you ever seen like in like, so there's this thing in Japanese culture or something, typically in the media, where they will have like someone walking on the street and then someone walks past them and they like bump into them and then the person looks down and they've suddenly been stabbed. That's what's going to happen to these people when they, like Toei just sends an agent to bump into them and then stab them in broad daylight.
Oh no, I just keeled over. Save me, Goku coin.
Goku coin, Kamehameha coin.
You know, the worst part about Goku coin is, like, before the podcast, I actually looked up if there was a Goku coin. Sure enough, somebody fucking did it.
Dude, there's, like, what was it I saw the other day? That there's a fucking hentai coin. And horny and dumb as I am, I decided, hey, let's go and check out the website. And it's just a bunch of stolen hentai art where it's just like, oh, you can get this coin and then you would get a hot waifu or something. But you know what I could also do? I could also just go to one of the many hentai sites I have bookmarked and just find it fucking there. Who the fuck would actually be caught dead owning a fucking NFT of fucking hentai?
I'm like, there has to be a point where they don't even look at the image as being minted. They just see, oh, something I can put my money in and get more money back.
Well,
I think that's literally just all it is.
Well, you've seen the CryptoPunk and the apes and the lions and all that. It is clearly not because they appreciate the art.
Oh, definitely. It always makes me it always makes me happy when I remember that the person who created NFTs fucking disowned the concept because it's gone so goddamn out of hand.
I legit have that entire article bookmarked, just because, just like I've only had to have the conversation about NFTs with someone who defended NFTs once, and we talked about the guy. He's a great friend of mine who is always like, he likes the concepts of things, but doesn't really stop up to think about like the full thing of it, which, you know, I can respect that. So, but in case I ever run into a dumb fuck like this, I always just want to have like this document at the ready, just so I can be like, who knows more about NFTs than its own fucking creator?
And then you see the look on their face, and they're like, no, but he doesn't know anything. It's gotten far beyond his original vision. I'm like, you're fucking stupid.
Oh, okay. Does it override copyright laws? No? Then shut your whore mouth up. That is, like, if there's one teeny tiny detail that I wish that you could, like, scream into a megaphone and let every, like, NFT grifter, like, know, it would be buying NFTs does not give you the copyright. Because everyone and their fucking mom seem to think that. And it's such a deciding factor in, like, the validity of NFTs.
It's because I mean, like, here's where their defense goes, is, like, where they're so fucking stupid. It just goes, there's no laws for NFTs, there's nothing backing it, so we're not breaking any laws. And I'm like, if you fucking fill a house with gas and lead some people in it and lock the door behind them, just because the gas kills them doesn't mean you're off the fucking hook.
Yeah.
You're still responsible. I want to believe it's just a lot of gullible people, but at the same time, it's just when people fight so goddamn hard under this sense of denial, I just can't help but like not feel bad about any bad things that are happening to them.
Yeah.
What was it that was like shared in the Wild West the other day? Like, what was that country? Was it Norway that put like a whole fucking stop to like the energy crisis by like actually making laws against like Bitcoin mining?
Oh no! I don't think it was Nordic. I think it was it Italy?
Italy, yeah. Oh, I'm gonna like quickly search for the article, but like the idea that like that the power consumption was so goddamn out of hand that the government had to step in and it's like, okay, if we find out through that you're mining bitcoins, you will be fucking sent to jail.
No,
because we don't have the power for it. It was what?
Kosovo. Panic as Kosovo pulls the plug on its energy-guzzling Bitcoin miners.
Yes, thank you. Kosovo. Just... That shit just makes me smile. The fact they... Get fucked.
So there you can see because like some stuff has happened is this last podcast, and the reason why I was thinking of Italy was because there was that whole fucking Tifa Lockhart thing. Did you fucking see that shit?
Oh yeah, you mean where their fucking Tifa and Cloud Hentai just played in the fucking Zoom call?
So I don't know like what exactly the specifics were, but there was some kind of like I guess political meeting or something, over Zoom or something, and one of the people just has straight up 3D hentai of Tifa just getting absolutely fucking railed by Cloud, and it's on screen for like a good 10-12 seconds. It's the best.
I just imagine there was just like a meme that popped up like right under it where it's just like Aerith at the meeting watching Tifa getting railed by Cloud. I fucking died. Like she will eventually.
Are you okay?
I'm sorry. I'm just
having a good
laugh. Yes.
Okay, great.
It was a yes.
But like as you were saying about the whole thing, like it's hard to feel sorry about like NFT grifters. As Draco in the chat is saying, as someone whose art was stolen for NFT, this new era of art theft pisses him off, and I agree. Like right. That is my stance has always been: if you like NFTs, you don't appreciate the art community, and one of the reasons why I specifically hate NFT grifters, it's not the energy stuff, because like who am I to talk when I'm sitting here with a fucking softbox pointing at me. I have 2 monitors here. I have like a computer down there. I have a PlayStation that is in standby. Like I have all these things, so I'm leaving my footprint like on the electric fucking thing. So yeah. I don't really have a leg to stand on there. Where my biggest gripe is that these are people who do not understand art. They do not understand what goes into art. They do not understand the time, the effort, the passion, the blood, the sweat, and the tears that goes into art. The passion that comes with the art, the meaning behind art. Some people will draw something that like their own personal nightmares, their feelings when they're at the lowest, their feelings when they're at the highest, all these things that just convey these extremely personal feelings and emotions. They do not understand any of this shit, and they are willing to shit on the people who put their fucking soul into all these things and just dump the hardest ass on them just on the off chance that they can make $10. And that, if infuriates me. I do not think that any of these people have ever sat down and created something with their own hands and then looked at it and been like, I'm fucking proud of this shit. Because if they have, they must have like the worst taste in their mouth for just taking stuff that some people have worked tirelessly on for days, weeks, months, years, and just go, yeah, you know what? You don't own this shit anymore. I do.
Oh god. And like, just to add on top of that, it hurts doubly hard when people start making NFTs of the art that's made by people who are dead. Like people who use Stan Lee's image to make NFTs. Yeah. There was like that one artist who died in the year before this NFT bubble like happened. People just ended up stealing her art and just posting it online trying to sell it. You could be dead and somebody takes your work and tries to sell them and profiting off all the effort you've done for nothing. And it's
that's not even the worst one. The worst one is the Etiquette one.
Oh yeah.
Where they
one of them had the bridge in the back.
Yeah, yes, that was what I was about to bring up. Okay, again, I need to make sure that everyone is up to speed. So, there was some people, some dumb cunts who decided to make NFTs of was he a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer?
He was a Twitch streamer.
Of a Twitch streamer called Etiquette. He was big in the Smash thing, or just like Nintendo in general, I believe. And he was very, very loved in that community. Just, most of all because like he was always hype, he was always like smiling and all this stuff. Then came the troubles where he started having some, like he displayed some mental issues, and it unfortunately all culminated in Etiquette jumping off of a bridge and killing himself. So some people made a terrible looking pixel art NFT of him, and one of them has the fucking bridge he jumped off of in the background.
The best part about all this is he opened it up as like, we'll give a portion of the proceeds to like suicide prevention charity, and then like a day later he just decides, because of the hate, I'm taking away the charity that I was originally going to give, so it's just gonna be full profit because fuck you. And I'm like, yeah, no, these people are just actual fucking scumbags.
I don't recall who said it, but I remember this came as a response to, because like there was also the whole thing of Troy Baker being like, "Hey, NFTs, whoop-doo!" and that didn't go well. But he was talking about that, and I believe someone commented on that, going, "It's funny how all these NFT grifters always talk about, like, yes, there are all of these, like, green NFTs or green crypto energies or something, which is, like, people who are looking into a technology or have produced a technology, I don't know how far they are with it, that essentially allows all this crypto farming to be a lot less energy heavy than it is right now. But as this comment pointed out, it is so fucking funny that they always say, oh yeah, we will be looking into it later, or don't worry, we're thinking about doing this. No, fuck you, do it now. If you wanna be like, oh yeah, we're the good NFTs, then what the fuck is this dilly-dallying about? No, down the line we're gonna do this. Fuck you, do it now. Put your money where your mouth is.
I also love that they're like, the Troy Baker one is hilarious, kind of like how Wench says in the chat, fuck Troy Baker and fuck anyone who listens to him, because like ever since like the pandemic, the celebrities have kind of been going a lot more unhinged. Oh, yeah. Because like they think like their actual opinions fucking matter, and they don't. They think they're like experts in anything, and they don't know shit.
Like, do you fucking remember when the whole COVID thing happened and Gal Gadot was like, I don't know what will help people. Let's get a bunch of people together and sing Imagine. Like, what the fuck? Gal Gadot, I'm dying over here. What the fuck?
I love that one specifically because they were like pictures of guillotines right underneath those posts.
Oh no. even Gal said that was bad timing. Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. But again,
no shit.
the whole thing about like Troy Baker, that one struck a chord with me because like it's no secret that I'm a huge fan of The Last of Us 1, not 2, 1.
Mm.
And of course Troy Baker plays a big role in that. And I believe that when you allow Troy to be other than just Troy, he can produce some legit good voice acting. So to see this and then see like the cocky what's it called? Like when you're like looking for a fight, like
I'm
hostile,
hostile.
Yeah,
that
yeah, kind of antagonistic. That's
thank
the
you.
word. Like there was this antagonistic tone to it. Like why you can either hate or create what's it gonna be or some shit like that. And it's like you clearly don't know anything about this, because if you did, you would know how much it hurts the people around you, because the technology he was peddling, one, was already before he was peddling it stealing other like sound bits and technologies from other people, which was fun to look into. But the whole thing that he was like looking into is that they were basically going to make it so that you could train an AI to mimic a voice actor's voice to then like produce sound bits. And then as Young a video game reviewer and a voice actor, he voices Pucci in the new season of JoJo.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Right? As he put it was like, you're fucking like, you're shitting on every voice actor here now, because you're making it so that we can't get fucking jobs.
You ripped off 15 AI, lol. And yeah, no, that's a good point. That's an incredibly good point. It's like, hey, let's do something nice and create by stealing the voices of all the people around us.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, just
like
fucking dumbass.
Like let's try and put a Blizzard hat on and be a corrupt company for once. Imagine if you're looking into making this video game and you want a voice actor. Are you going to pay, let's say, $10,000? I don't know what the rate is for a voice actor, but let's say, are you going to pay $10,000 to get this voice actor to come in and do like the voice coaching and all this shit, and then do his lines, and then you're gonna process them and then put it out and then put him in the credits? Or are you gonna pay $500 to buy a license to this AI and then get fucking Troy Baker's AI voice to just voice this thing? Obviously, you're gonna pick the $500 one, because like a company is all about saving money.
Honestly, like, I would prefer like it. Sorry. The image that came into my head was like the TF2 sentence mixing stuff, where like you have like the actual voice actor saying the line, you have fucking an AI saying the line, and then you have someone sentence missing it from like a bunch of different sentences, and it's a funny video. I'll send it to you later.
Please do.
But I'm like, I would rather if this was like a little personal project, I can understand. I would actually even prefer the dumbass funny sentence mixing rather than like this AI shit, because it always fucking sounds weird to me. But like, of course, I'm a company. It's like, oh, they don't give a shit about. They just wanted. We're gonna take their likeness, take their name, and not involve them at all. That's essentially theft, but we paid for the license, so it's not illegal.
Yeah,
it's stupid.
So, yeah, it is disgusting to the highest degree. Like, if you want to make money off of some dumb shit that doesn't hurt anyone, like the fucking pixel punks or whatever, like no one is stealing, like no one has created that stuff that is then going, oh, my pixel punk is being stolen, because everyone and their fucking mom can make a pixel punk. It's not hard. It looks like fucking ass white with ass. So like if you want to do that, fine. There's the whole power thing, but fine. But if you are trying to take money or food out of other people's mouths, just on the off chance that you can make a quick buck, you are an actual scum of the earth, and you deserve to get your whole ass kicked.
Oh yeah. Plus, eventually when this shit finally does get regulated, because when you have so much money flowing, there's no way any government on earth is just gonna let it lying it down. They're gonna take control of it. We've seen it with the fucking internet, with like we have all these fucking services region locking dumb bullshit. The reason why NordVPN or ExpressVPN, all these VPNs coming out of the woodwork, or NordPass. But we've seen it with the fucking internet, the Wild West freedom bullshit. Everything gets taken down eventually. Everything gets reined in, because when you have so much shit going around, the big players in the world are gonna want their share of the fucking pie.
Yeah.
So when you have billions of dollars circulating with imaginary fucking money, and all these grifters putting their money into it, thinking they're gonna get some shit back, it's only a matter of time until the fucking UN or the USA or China comes in, makes some regulations, and takes all that shit for themselves. Because that's good. And the people who are going to be most affected are the dumbasses who thought this bubble was never going to burst. Yeah. And I look forward to the day they're homeless, because I'll buy their fucking house. I don't give a shit.
No, fuck them.
I'll buy it on a premium. Fuck it.
Jesus.
I would use it better than they would. Do you know how fucking hard it is to get property in this country, my dude? It's fucking impossible, man.
Oh yeah, I have living extensive knowledge about getting houses in America. It's basically all I know.
God bless you, man. But no, it's just when you're just so much of a waste of a resource, when you're just doing all this, you're taking from other people's money, when you're still, it takes so fucking much just to do all this NFT shit in the first place, and you're still resorting to stealing to save a quick buck or effort or anything. Nah, man, I hope everything bad happens to you. Bad day for you. Fuck off. I won't be surprised if Butch Hartman jumps on the NFT wagon as that fucker tries too hard to be hip with the internet kid shit.
Yeah, you know what?
God. I see videos of him drawing doing anime requests, quote unquote. And it's always the most fucking painful thing in the world.
I believe someone who apparently wants me to just punch them in the mouth linked me a video of him trying to draw Kamina. It looked like ass.
It was painful.
It's honestly not that hard to draw Kamina, but he somehow fucked it up.
Even if you're not good at anime, there's you could do anything else. It's they made that motherfucker look like Chip Skylark, and I got offended. Oh yeah, because he only knows 4 body types.
Yeah. We trace art now that Rimmer drawing. Oh yeah. Well, he's traced art for a while. Speaking of art theft. No, it's reference. I can see. Remember when people would shit on fuckers like Andrew Jobson for tracing and being lazy? Did Andrew Jobson?
And he's just some. I think very. There was an instance where he traced a clock tower. Or no. Actually, no. What he didn't trace. He just took a stock image of a clock tower and he just put it in this piece that you could buy on his Patreon.
Oh.
And people called him out on it. But then he went ahead and referenced it to show he could make a decent drawing with it. But he just didn't do it the first time, so that was weird. But we have people shitting on him for reference faux pas like that. And then you have just actual people who've been in the industry making $100,000 of money on people's childhoods, and it's pulling this lazy bullshit. You did trace from Star Wars comic that. Oh, okay.
It is always interesting to have this to have this whole conversation going on. I remember there was that time where some people in the Webcast Relief Discord caught that Chalo had been tracing the hentai artist Norisuko's art very, very blatantly. And I think I put up a side-by-side comparison on my social media, and I guess I'm just going to call him a person because I don't think he wants to be named. But there was someone who reached out, who has ties with Chalo, who was like, "This is actually not like tracing because you can see that this line does not match perfectly up with this line, and this line doesn't perfectly match up with this one," and it's like. No, but it matches up enough. And plus, also, I know that Norisuko actually reached out and talked to Cello about this, and Cello apologized for tracing. So, I think it's an interesting conversation to have because I definitely understand the whole thing of like you using references and stuff to make stuff because it's a true and tried thing to do. I know both Justin, a friend Justin, and Zach, they both like create when they have to make scenes in their art, they will do it with 3D models and then like trace that. And like, oh, okay, that's fine. And there's people who are like, oh, how does a shirt actually fit when you do this pose? And then they look at it and like they draw stuff like that. So like there are uses of reference and tracing, but I think
it comes to a point where it's like you could just see it.
Yeah. I know that there was we actually had it brought up when I was studying graphic design, where I think it was the Olympics logo at one point had been either it ripped off something else or something else ripped that off, and there was a lawsuit about it, and I believe that it concluded in a law being made that if the copied work matches to a certain percentage, and where you both like compare the lines and the colors and all this stuff. If they compare, if they match up to a certain percentage, then it is theft. But I remember when I was trying to do the Faithful Hearts video, the one where the chick was tracing all this stuff, all this Disney stuff. I remember I tried to look up this rule, but I couldn't find it fucking anywhere. And if anyone who listens to this podcast knows what that percentage is and got the legal papers for it, please send it to me because I would love to make a video about it because I think it's such an interesting topic. Okay.
Okay, sorry though. Everything kind of went quiet for a second. I'm like, Lasso, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Did you have a stroke?
I thought you had a stroke.
I'm stroking, but I'm not. I haven't had a stroke.
Maybe Discord had a stroke.
The chat says I've heard it's 60-40. I don't know law offhand, but that's what I've seen float around. Probably, I don't know.
All right, that's not a lot. That's really not a lot.
No.
It's easy to tell with like tracing, I guess.
It's always fun. Okay, so this actually leads me into something I wanted to talk about. I know you have a shower thought, and we will absolutely get to that. But
no. Go on. Tell me your thought.
But this actually like segues me into a thing I wanted to talk about. Because there's a few things that are more fun than when you catch an art theft in the act. Because like, oh no, you see, it's just because I may have seen it and then I guess it just stored in my brain or something. Like there's all these weird fucking excuses for it. It's always so fun. And there comes moments in your life when you're confronting people and you can just tell that they're fucking lying. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They are just fucking lying, and it is clear as goddamn day. Which leads me into something that I have been following somewhat, like, interested for the past couple of days, which is the whole thing that's been going on with Prince Andrew of England.
Oh, please. Just set the scene, because when you brought this up to my attention, I fucking lost my goddamn mind.
So, Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, I think his thing is. Well, those are fellas you're talking about. Yeah, sorry, Alice. So Prince Andrew was accused of sexual assault on a girl, and this is all supposed to have happened on Epstein's island. And at first Andrew's like, lol, no, this never happened. And then the girl goes and was like, actually, yes, it is. Here's a picture. She has like this fucking photograph of Prince Andrew with his arm around her, and then Epstein's wife is like in the background, like smiling, and Prince Andrew was like, yeah, but that's clearly photoshopped. And then people find the actual for reals his photograph, and then it's like, yeah, okay, maybe I was there, but I never had sex with her. And the girl is like, I remember he was like super uncomfortable to be with because like he sweat a lot. And then Prince Andrew starts going on and on about like, but you see, I have this medical condition where I cannot sweat. And then people are like, oh, all right, what? Bet. Can you, like, can you prove that? Like, can you get a doctor's note that says that you're unable to sweat? And Prince Andrew's like, lol, no.
What's that water coming out of your forehead pores, Mr. Andrew?
Yeah. So then there was an interview. Again, I might have fucked up the timeline, but there was an interview where it's 50 minutes long, and if you ever have 50 minutes to burn, go watch this interview. It is the funniest fucking thing you ever seen, because it's just like a posh old man lying at lightning speed. It is so fucking funny to just see this dude try and weasel his way through this fucking interview. And like, I remember after it had happened, he was like, I think I did all right. And everyone was just, well, fuck it, he did it. I was on the fence before, but fuck it, he did it. Because no one has incriminated Prince Andrew more than Prince Andrew. There was a point where he talks about how, the interview goes, all right, but the chick says that this sexual assault happened on this date in 2001. And this interview came out in like 2021, 2020, I don't recall. Mm-hmm. And then they ask him, like, what do you have to say to that? And he's like, without a second hesitation, he's like, that can't be true, because I was at a children's restaurant that day. You remembered instantly where you were 19 years ago on this specific date. Can you tell us what children restaurant? No. All right.
Why were you around the children, Mr. Andrew?
Yeah, well, so that also becomes a funny thing, because like then they start asking like, hey, but why were you hanging around with Epstein? Because everyone who's ever hung out with Epstein should probably at some point have a camera pointed at them and be asked, why the fuck were you hanging out with Epstein? And so I think that yeah, please take a seat right over there. Take a seat. So they were the interviewer like, oh yeah, what was your relationship with Epstein? And I think at first Prince Andrew was like, I guess I knew him a little bit, but you know, we weren't friends or anything. And then they're like, okay, but we have this photo of you and him shaking hands and looking all buddy. And like, okay, maybe we were friends. and then the funniest thing about the interview, at least I don't. There's a video of Jim Can't Swim or something, which is like criminal psychology analysis site that has this clip up, and it's the end of that. I don't know if it's the end of the interview. I can't recall, but like the interviewer asked him, so what do you think about all this stuff about Epstein then? And like, why were you hanging around with him? And so Prince Andrew is like, well, I think it's most unfortunate that Epstein acted in a manner that was very unbecoming of a gentleman. I think that's actually like the exact line that he uses. And the interviewer like kind of like furrows her brows and leans in and is like, unbecoming. He's a child rapist. and then the camera just cut and like, oh. Like, she leaned into the mic for that one. He wanted him to fucking feel that. But okay, so all of this stuff has happened. The latest news is that Prince Andrew has now had his military and royal titles stripped from him. So now he's no longer being trialed as Prince Andrew, the Duke of York. He's being trialed as just a normal civilian dude. And the funniest thing, after all of this, is that apparently, according to the legal documents, they're no longer Prince Andrew's defense are no longer fighting this claim that this chick has made. The reason why the court, the case is still going, is because apparently the girl signed an NDA saying she wouldn't sue them for Prince Andrew raping her. Which is like, what?
Yeah, he did it.
What the fuck? They themselves bring up you signed this NDA saying you wouldn't bitch that you were statutorily raped. Like, what the? But so it happened? What?
Oh wait, that he did.
Yeah.
So you admit it? Okay.
It's just a fucking clown circus, and I love it so much.
Just wow. Like, well, first off, I'm just surprised that his titles got stripped at all. That's like a thing I never would have expected. That shit wouldn't happen here in America. This shit happened in America, they just let him still be president.
Yeah, they would send him good vibes and like thoughts and prayers and hope that everything worked out.
They just blamed the other side of the fucking whatever the two-party system is that's being accused of this week.
To be fair, Your Honor, did you see how she was dressed? Like,
fuck. I'm just like, after this podcast, I ain't got much to do. I'm still like low on work. I'm just gonna put that on. I'm gonna laugh my goddamn ass off because I want to see a 50-year-old man just be shit at lying.
It's it is funny. And again, just looking at it, you have never seen a more guilty person in your life. Like, if you've ever seen, what the fuck is it called? To Catch a Predator or anything, have you ever seen that show?
Chris Hansen. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I fucking love that show exactly for this exact reason, because I like to see people who are caught in the act and are trying to make up excuses, and so and this is the exact same, where it's like the thing they say at one point is immediately disregarded in the next, and they are just clawing for any semblance of like breadcrumbs of like, let me try and steer the conversation. And if they are against someone like Chris Hansen, which like he's not a very good detective journalist or anything, but he is a great interviewer because he is stoic, he is focused, and he is laser accurate when it comes to these fucking like questions and remarks and dumb quips. So it just becomes so funny to see like someone try to push the immovable object.
I love it when they just like write themselves into a fucking corner.
Yeah.
Like, no, Your Honor, you don't understand. Like, even though she was like forcibly brought against her will over here and had to be stripped naked at gunpoint, she backed into me while my pants were down. I can't be held accountable for that, now can I?
Your Honor, so the defense has presented a video of me raping the girl, but like if I can bring your attention to that video, does she not look like a snack? Like, can you blame a dude?
Your Honor, she raped me.
The funniest thing about like To Catch a Predator was always the people who were like, yeah, so I traveled cross state to get here just to tell the girl don't do this thing, and then I was gonna leave. Like, fucking You couldn't do that over a fucking phone call? You stupid fucking motherfucker.
Or, just not be in this weird sexy voice chat for 16 hours on end.
Objection on the grounds that the accused is fist bumping the judge.
Your Honor, didn't she look like a snack?
So to bring us out of this uncomfortable subject, Claudia, you had a shower thought that you wanted to discuss.
So I think hurricanes should be named like people name serial killers.
Come again?
So, we have this thing in the United States. I don't know if this is used worldwide, but like, hurricanes are just named after normal ass people. Like, there's Hurricane Irene, Hurricane. I don't know any other ones off the top of my head.
Katrina?
Let's just call one Garrett. Yeah. But then, like, you have serial killers who are like, the
Zodiac Killer, the Night Stalker.
The Night Stalker, why am I forgetting? Jack the Ripper? I feel like the whole fucking name convention should be fucking switched. Because you don't want to give a serial killer any sort of goddamn, like, accolades, or you don't want to give them any sort of notoriety. You want to make them feel like shit for doing the shit they've done.
Yeah, like, so give them girl names.
Like, if this person, like, started, like, killing 20 people and they got caught and put on trial, don't call him, like, the Night Terror. Call him George McShit-his-pants or something like that.
No, give them girl names. Like, keep the naming convention for hurricanes. Just, so, this is Michelle? No, I'm the son of Sam. No, you're from here on out called Michelle.
Michelle. You are now Michelle. And if it's a girl, you're still Michelle. Everyone gets it. But then, like, and then, make serial killers feel like absolute shit for the things they've done. Make them all look like fucking fools. But when you have the hurricanes come in, when they're named like Irene, you don't immediately get the bells like, oh, it's some lady calling Irene. Like, I can just leave at my own pace. But if you call the fucking hurricane something like Super Mega Death Blades of Wind or some shit, you're probably gonna fucking leave your goddamn house.
Like
exact same name convention, but switch. Maybe it was Hurricane killing fuck people by taking it seriously. That's basically what I'm saying.
Like you say that, and in my head, I'm like, don't people take hurricanes seriously? And then I remember being in a fucking conversation with Zach, going like, hey man, are you okay? I hear there's like a hurricane in your area, and he's like, oh yeah, it's here now, like, listen. And then, like, he points his mic outside, and you can just hear, and I'm like, do you not need to take shelter? It's probably gonna be fine. What the fuck do you mean probably? Like, if this shit is 1% not fine, it is very quickly gonna become 100% not fine.
So, on the one hand, Zach's a Florida man.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, Zach's a Florida man.
Yeah, that's true.
So he's like, you could say he's probably used to, like, hurricanes and shit, but at the same time, when you're from Florida, nothing really fucking phases you.
Yeah.
I made a joke, like, I forget what hurricane it was when that happened, because, like, I talked to him when you talked to him about that, but, like, we basically just made a joke. I go, no, just do the tried and true. Stick the fan outside your front door, get all your neighbors to do the same thing, and then just blow it away.
Oh, yeah, that'll work.
You know, physics. Shower thoughts with Cloudy should be a regular segment on the podcast.
If you can keep up having shower thoughts, then we can absolutely implement that.
Okie dokie.
What was I thinking? Right. Did I ever tell you about the time that we had, like, a quote-unquote hurricane in Denmark?
No, you have not. Please, tell me more.
It's funny because it's one of, like, I legit love this story in, like, a kind of wholesome manner. So, Denmark is not, like, placed in a very, like, temperature, like, an area where a lot of hurricanes happen. Because, like, it has something to do with hot and cold air. And Denmark is mostly either 100% cold or 100% warm. We don't have, like, a shift or anything like that. So,
okay.
At one point, we did have a very, very, very harsh wind. And we started calling it a hurricane just to make people take it more seriously. And so, the day after this hurricane took place, nothing happened. Like, I need to stress, it is not a hurricane. It is just a really strong wind. The worst thing that happened was probably, we'll get to that. But it wasn't that bad. And so the day after, people were posting on Facebook of one of their lawn chairs that had, like, tipped over. And they took a picture of that and wrote the text, "We will rebuild." And it was just like, that's pretty funny. But the best thing is that there was someone who was living close to the beach. And, of course, when you're close to the beach, the winds are harsher because there's nothing stopping it. And these people had most of their, like, backyard ripped up. So, like, all of their lawn furniture and some parts of, like, the wall that connected to the backyard had just been, like, ripped off and scattered all across the beach. But if you watch this newscast, you would not think that was actually what had taken place, because there's, like, this kind of old man. And he's sitting around a table with, like, 5 of his friends or something, and they're having, like, coffee and some morning bread or something. And, like, they're interviewing him going, yeah, it's pretty shit, but, what can you do? I've gathered some of my closest friends, and we're gonna make a day out of it, and we're just gonna walk around the streets, and then we're gonna gather all the stuff, and then we're gonna make some pork roast in the evening and have some beers. That was it. Like, this man has had, like, his fucking house, like a wall of his house, ripped clean out. And his entire response to, like, thousands of dollars of property damage is, fuck it, we'll make a day out of it. Like, this... And I mentioned the Danish mentality before. I was like, nothing really, like, gets us that riled up. And I think, and I love this newscast because it is the perfect, like, epitome of what the Danish mentality is. It's just like,
Like, I always compliment, like, our friend Hayden for being Australian, because, like, when you're used to a lot of crazy bullshit, you don't let a lot of things get you down. But, like, I am deeply, like, humbled by just, like, man who just had his fucking house destroyed. Like, yo, let's have a fucking barbecue. We'll make something out of this.
Yeah.
It's, like, just very wholesome. I love it.
And then like they proceeded for the rest of the day, like just walking around the beach, gathering up all the bits and pieces that they could find, and then like brought it all back to the house. Like, I fucking love that news kid so much. Well, there's that one, and then there's the I don't know if I told you this, but there was once someone who was like trying to figure out, like they wanted to do a bit about swinger clubs in Denmark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so she didn't, and so this newscaster was very much like, I don't want to like picture these people as super freaks or anything. I actually want to try and just like make this seem as normal as these people claim that it is. So what this chick does, and this is like for the radio, so there's no cameras or anything, but what this chick does is that she equips herself with a mic, with these people's permission, and she takes part of everything in there and does interviews while she's getting fucking railed crazy. And you can fucking hear it too!
First off, like, she must have some good constitution to keep her focused while all that shit is happening.
What?
I'm impressed.
Like, you can hear her voice crack and stuff, like, as she's, moaning or whatever the fuck. But it's so funny to hear her go, so when did you become a swinger? While you can just hear, like, this man just fucking hitting it from the back. Like, and when I heard these news, I was like, oh, she's gonna get fucking, like, blown the fuck up. Because being as Mr. Worldwide, as international as I am, with, like, I have so much to do with, like, America and England and all these things because of, like, my friends and my quote-unquote fan base and all this stuff. Sometimes I get, like, I start putting the Danish standard to American things and the American standard to Danish things. And so here I was like, oh wow, she's gonna get fucking yelled and screamed at and called the whore and everything. But then I found like the article and read the comments, and everyone was just like, this is fucking great. Kudos for putting yourself out there. I respect this. This sounds like fun. And I was just like, there's gotta be a mean comment in here. I read through like 40, 50 messages. There was not a single one losing their goddamn mind. It was just like all support, and I was like, I love this country.
Yeah, like, it's weird. It's a lot of the degenerate people who in comment. It's weird. Porn comics always seem to be weirdly polite, consistently. So like, I feel like that also has something to do with it, but at the same time, it's like, there's something just weirdly wholesome. That the people of Denmark can come together to cheer on this one lady for handling, like, how many dudes in one fucking sitting?
I don't know.
A lot.
Well, I from what I could understand from it, it didn't exactly sound like there was many at once. It was just like, now you're having sex with Jimmy. Now you're having sex with Carl. Like, one on one.
Okay.
It's not like she was fucking getting gangbanged or anything. I don't know. Again, it was only audio, but still, I like when I think about it, I'm like, I actually respect this. Like, what an interesting way to lower people's, like, guards and have them be open and honest. Like, when the fuck are you ever gonna be more honest than when you literally have your dick inside someone?
You know what? Shit, you're right. I can't really come up with a fucking, like, comeback to that. Nope. I mean, that's just a fact.
I mean, maybe if you're just like looking for a quick lay, I'm not saying that we are that type of people, but we know that there are some people who are like, I just want some nookie, who will tell a girl, oh, I love you, while, hitting it. And like, yeah, okay. But other than that, I don't think that that you're ever gonna be, like, more honest than when the girl literally has you by the balls.
I always imagined, like, I don't even remember what fucking parody this was, like, when you're like balls deep and like someone's got like their kung fu ass grip on you, yeah, no, it would not behoove you to lie in that situation.
Nope.
Because it's just like one twist or one like jolt of the leg, and you're fucking down for the count anyway.
Yep.
Yeah. It's because you're both in such a vulnerable position. You can be so honest.
Yeah.
Which I guess in a way is pretty genius. If that was like the point of it all.
I guess it was just like to level the playing field. Like she didn't want them to feel like, oh, I'm observing you like animals in a zoo. It's more like I want to be one of you guys, so you can talk to me like one of you guys. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
But back to the topic at hand, I agree we should make the name change from serial killers and hurricanes.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like make all fucking like serial killers be like Mr. Poopy Butthole, and like all like fucking hurricanes be, I don't know, Hurricane Hyper Death, Hurricane like Saw Blades. Hurricane COVID for whatever the fuck.
I am just thinking of that bit George Carlin has where it's like there's manly words like tow truck, cornhole, bazooka, and then like I think that we should like take the and then all the serial killers are going to be called Karen and Christy and all this shit. And then school shooters are gonna be called Mr. Poopy Pants. And fuck,
you know what? Yeah, that's true. Grape nuts.
Healy without the wheel, or whatever the fuck it was that we came up with.
Healy without the wheel. Hyper realistic Hurricane Cloudy. Lower East Side has been terrorized by killer going with the name Dime Dick Daring.
Dime Dick Daryl.
Dick Daryl. That's good.
Dime Dick Daryl. Hurricane Death Cloudy. Machine.
Hurricane Death Machine 9000.
Hyper realistic Hurricane Neptunia.
Oh no! I'd fucking get the fuck out of there. But yes, no, we definitely need to just keep the exact same naming convention, just switch them around. Like Jack the Ripper is just Karen now.
Yeah. England was terrorized by Karen. Oh God, times sure haven't changed at all. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Oh no.
Oh shit.
Okay, I gotta ask, what is the difference between a hurricane and a tornado?
Rain, I guess, but like tornado is like a big old like twisty wind that goes very fast but is centralized in one location. Like a hurricane is like a big spinning like thing of just weather going through. A hurricane can have tornadoes, but a tornado isn't a hurricane. It's like a square is not a rectangle kind of. No, a rectangle is not a square, but a square is a rectangle kind of thing.
I think you had it right the first time.
Wait.
A rectangle is a square, but a square is not a rectangle.
No, I do think it is the other way around, because the square is the one where everything's all sides are equal.
Oh, right, you have a different word for that. Fuck.
Wait, what? No. Explain this to me, because like now I'm interested.
Well, okay, so in how do I even go about this? So in Denmark, we call a shape after how many sides it has. Right. So like a square is essentially just a 4-side because it has 4 sides. A triangle is a 3-side because it has 3 sides, and so on and so forth. And then we have a word specifically for when for when all sides of a square are exactly like the same length, which is called a kvadrat. So I think that's where the issue is, that we have a name for like a four-sided shape, and a four-sided shape where every line is the same length. And a rectangle is a four-sided shape that is not a kvadrat.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I will say I am American, but like my English is fucking shit because I'm also Spanish. I think that's the thing where my brain was getting like confused, because it is the same thing. The square is the one where all things have to be equal sides, and the rectangle is the thing that is just a four-sided shape.
Yeah.
So I think I did get the ordering wrong, like where a rectangle is not a square, but a square is a rectangle. Okay. Wait, no.
I think you fucked it up again.
Fuck! You know what? Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Fuck it. That's all we'll do it. Fuck it.
But I always thought that was like interesting, because like for me, whenever I learned English, I always just thought that a four-sided shape is just a square, and you guys just didn't have a word for when every side of the square was equally long. But I guess that you do have that.
Yeah, it's the order. I'm very bad at like explaining it with words. If this was like in front of me, it'd be easier to explain. But no, linguistics is really hard in English because nothing makes fucking sense in English.
Oh, did you fucking hear, like, speaking of languages and stuff, just a quick dumb aside, did you ever learn how to count in French?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I forget 8.
Hold on, let me look it up, because I don't recall it exactly, but it becomes super fucking silly the further you go. Cause
they count by fucking 20s, don't they?
They do fucking like math shit at you. I like Danish is not like innocent at all in this either. Because what is it? So 90 is halvfems, and halvfems is half. And fem is 5. So 90 becomes half 5. Which doesn't make any sense. 80 is fierce, which is 2 4s. 4 is fear. So that kind of makes sense. Like, it becomes multiple. What is it? But then you have 70. That is halvfjerds. But there's nothing called fjer. Like this, that last part of it doesn't exist. So, like, we have this fucking thing, but French is the fucking weirdest shit in the world.
I hate it. I just hate it.
So,
God.
I'm trying to. So, quatre. So, yeah, okay, here we go. So, 81 is quatre vingt un. And quatre is 4. And vingt is 20. And then it is un is 1. So 81 is 4 times 20 plus 1.
Yeah, the French count by 20 and it makes me mad! with them and their like letters, they're extraneous letters. They put in their word, but then they leave out in the talk. I hate.
What wanna know how to say 99 in French?
Oh, please, please tell the class so I can die inside.
99, which is quatre is 4, 20 is 20, dix is 10, and neuf is 9. So it is 20 times 4 plus 10 plus 9.
I'm in fucking pain!
Like, you better fucking love math, bitch!
I do love math, but I hate language.
Me too.
I hate language with a fucking passion.
I don't know why I decided to study French, but fuck me, here I am. Dude, studying French, actually the worst decision I've ever made in my like educational like endeavors. No one fucking cared. And like our teacher, I've already mentioned, she was the one who hit on me during graduation, so that was great. I remember there was a time where we had to watch the movie Nikita, which is like a French hitman movie. I think it actually stars Jean Reno. And there was a moment where like Nikita, the assassin, shoots someone, and the girl started crying. Like a girl in class started crying because, oh my god, it's so violent. And like, have you never fucking seen an action movie before? Like, dude, you're fucking 17. What the fuck?
What?
Oh, fuck.
Who is? Okay.
Spanish is the only class I got an 8+ in. I wish I'd learned Spanish. I fucking love Spanish. French is just, I'm never gonna use it. Never. Which is why
about Spanish. Like you take one class and you learn that one dialect, and then you go next class and everything you learned is wrong.
Oh boy.
Because your teacher has a different dialect.
Oh boy.
There's like 20 words for the word bus, so you better choose the fucking right one.
Bus?
Yeah.
Okay, give me some.
Off the top of my head, autobus, and in Puerto Rico we call it a wawa.
A wawa?
A wawa. Or just simply el bus.
El bus.
I like wawa because like you think it's spelled with a W, but it's actually G-U-A.
Guagua.
Guagua. Only because it's a G and a U, you pronounce it with a W because language is fucked.
I would honestly have thought that a wawa would be like an ambulance because it sounds like the sound of a siren. Wow, wow.
I fucking know, but it's a fucking bus. I blame Latin too.
¿Dónde está en la biblioteca?
Yo llevo la wawa a la biblioteca. I take the bus to the bus.
to the
library.
Bibliothek.
Bibliothek.
Which is how you say library in Danish, by the way. Bibliothek.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for. I appreciate the community, ref. Juan Bredin El Buso Islato. France, or to Webcast Relief people, the place the Project Second guy came from.
Oh, God. I wonder what he's doing these days.
Probably not a lot since he nuked his whole presence off the internet. Which, I wanted to bring this up to you because somebody this morning left a video suggestion. And I know you've kind of said no to this before, but they kind of packaged it a different way. Would you be willing to do kind of like a revisit episode for some comics?
I saw the comment, and I am open to the idea of going back and revisit a comic just to see how it has grown, but not to change what I said about it at the time. That I would be open to. However, it is way down on my list And I know this is gonna sound weird, seeing that I've currently been spending the last half a year just covering Sonichu, but I don't want to spend too much time talking about the same comics. I would rather spend that time in promoting new comics.
Very fair, very fair.
I'm not opposed to the idea, and could very well happen. It's just not a priority. And if it was to be a thing, I would probably cover multiple comics in one episode.
Which I think is pretty fair, and that's kind of how the format would work. In like the example they gave, because they use Bar Rescue, what they do is like they go to a bunch of restaurants and like touch base with like the owners, see how good they're doing, and then move on to the next one, kind of like rapid fire, which honestly would be fine. I just want you to touch on Two Kinds at the start of season 6 because you made a really dumb offhand comment in the beginning of the Project Second review that what is this? We're going to start every second season with Two Kinds, and I'm going to hold you to it.
What season are we on now? 5?
We're on 5. Yeah.
I'm worried that you keep better track of that than I do.
The only reason is because that shit stays rent free in my head, right next to Moe and the pointing meme, because that one's still my favorite.
I love how I think it was Caesar who brought it up. He's even doing it now in the chat. We are on the wall era. Like he's brought it up in fucking eras, like the bed era, I think it was called, and then there was the I don't recall it. Like he had all these different eras for the locations I've been recording at, and one of them is like the chair era, which is like the one before I started standing up.
Now we're in the green era.
Yeah, that's what he called it.
Yeah, because it's the fucking gray screen, which I love so much. Oh, great, it's webcomic relief archaeology. We have the webcomic relief lore! Oh, my hands shook when I said that.
That's actually like an interesting thing I actually want to bring up. Cloudy, are you the one who made the TV tropes page of me?
No.
You're not.
Because I wish I was, but that was not me. I do not know who it was.
I thought for certain that it would be you. Because there's some fucking, like, hyper-specific shit in there that I'm like, how the fuck did people catch that? Like, people know that I actually have my tattoo artist on speed dial. I don't know how.
I swear to God, you mentioned it in one of your early reviews when you were doing... It was one of the Jackie Diaz ones, you mentioned it.
Jesus. The fact that people actually, like, remember that shit is kind of spooky. I need to be careful what I say.
Whatever you post online can be used against you in a court of law.
Yeah, but did you see how she was dressed, Your Honor?
Oh no, Your Honor, you don't understand. That ass was fat. She was... No, we were just trying to do an interview.
Your earliest videos, I call it the Channel Awesome era. That is fine, because I did post them on Channel Awesome in hopes that they would pick me up.
But goddamn, as one would say.
But Your Honor, do you see how blazing this tat is? I actually need to get some new ink. I've been thinking of getting some, like, on my left lower arm. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it before, but I made myself the promise that when I got a full-time job in like graphic design and something like that, I wanted to get a tattoo specifically on the lower part of my arm, because in Denmark, I don't know if you have it in America, but in Denmark they frown upon people in stores where having visible tattoos like that. And I wanted this.
No, that's like Super America too.
And I wanted to do this as a middle finger to retail, kind of saying I'm never going back to retail again.
I remember you telling me this, and that's still like something that stuck with me, because that's like the biggest fucking flex I've ever goddamn heard, and I love it.
I just don't know what I. Again, we talked about it. I actually wanted to get like a sugar skull, but I don't want to fucking step over any toes. Unless they give you a shit ton.
Well, first off, like any Mexican, any Latino would not give a fucking shit. It's the people we don't talk about who'll give you the hardest time, but they're not people. It's okay.
I literally am. Caesar's saying I'm literally too white, Frank. Have you fucking seen me, bro? I'm the fucking palest guy I know, and I'm also the person in my circle of friends who has the most and the biggest tattoos. Like, that's not a deciding factor at all, let me tell you. Unless they give you...
I gotta be your...
What?
Oh, no, you go.
I was just reading the chat. Unless they give you a shit ton of money, like in the joke about the only way to get Riser to review Craven Control if he gets paid a shitload of money. Yeah.
No. You mentioned on podcast once that if the author came up to you and said, "Hey, yeah, that's another way to do it," I don't expect it, but if that was the case, that'd be fucking fantastic.
Oh yeah.
But like, I've always actually wanted my own like tattoo on like my shoulders, but my always thing that gets in the way is money.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Because like, well, actually, that's like because like aside from it being expensive, you also want to like find somebody you can fucking trust. To, like someone like because it's art. You're putting art on your body, and even if it's permanent, you want that fucking shit to look the way you want. Oh fuck. Okay, I don't have the picture on my phone because I lost it when like my old Apple like wiped on the plane. But my friend got a tattoo of Broly on his fucking arm, and the body looked fine, the hair looked fine, but the face was fucking atrocious. I'm gonna try to find it for you, like after this podcast. But my friend got fucked over by his tattoo artist, and I'm like, okay, yeah, oof. And you would defend most people in that time started like that. But you grew up from it and you got your own style. You cannot believe how many people are still stuck doing the nostalgia critic type of videos. GoFundMe for Clyde's tattoo. Highest pledge gets to...
I want it as a tramp stamp.
As a tramp stamp!
Speaking of tattoos, I remember when I was in Vegas. Because I have the input for the Hadouken and the Raging Demon on my bicep. And I got that as to celebrate my trip to Vegas, and also just because like I'm a huge fan of Akuma and all this stuff. Also just because like you start with the basic stuff like a Hadouken, and then you move on to the more advanced stuff, and that's like a way of life and all this stuff. Like I want all my tattoos to have meaning. Anyway. I wanted to get this tattoo done when we were in Vegas, and there was actually a tattoo booth in like near the hotel where we stayed. But I remember I was like, "Oh, I can get it here," and it was right next to the what do you call the doors that spin around in a circle? Revolting door.
Revolving doors.
Revolving door. Revolting. Revolving door. And there was just like this big open, like there was no walls or paneling or anything stopping you from entering this tattoo shop. And then there was the thing that you lay on, and it's and that is like everything is just wrong here, because like you want this to be sterile when you get this shit. And this thing is placed so close to the door next to a hallway where people are just walking left and right. And in the place you're going to lie is so close to where all of these bacteria that are going to be brought by other people and the revolving door can just find your fucking like open wound, which is essentially what a tattoo is at first. And it's just like, well, this is a surefire way to get tetanus. So I waited until I got home to get it done. By the way, getting a tattoo on the inner side of your bicep, not fun.
No, that's kind of painful.
For those of you, like, quick tip that I've learned. if you can pinch yourself there and you're like, I barely feel it, get a tattoo there. If you pinch yourself anywhere and it hurts like a motherfucker, it's gonna be worse when you get the tattoo.
Yes, hang on. I'm just going to tattoo my left testicle.
I'm gonna tattoo the Elton ring around my brown ring, which is my anus.
It's so painful. God. Oh, I still want the maple leaf on my fucking shoulder.
That would be cute, though. That would be really cute.
It would be.
Also because like it is such a like it's such a like thing about you, you know?
Yeah. It's a big part of my childhood, and I'm not ready to let it go just yet. Plus, I do like the vision I had in my head was that like you know how you can put your hand on your shoulder? I want the tattoo to be kind of like that big of a handprint. I just think that's a cool look.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Will you guys do Steve-O and get a tattoo of your own face? No. Have you fucking seen my face?
No, I think I'm good.
I'm good. By the way, did you fucking see Wooly has gotten like a full back tattoo?
I have not seen Wooly's back, no.
It's fucking cool as shit.
Oh.
It's like
really?
It's like this very how do I say it? It's very a mixture of Asian and I forget what country he's coming from.
Grenada?
Yeah, Grenada.
Yeah, Grenada.
And like so it's a mixture of those two things, and it looks really cool.
Oh, you know, I'm gonna Google Wooly's back and see what that gets me. Wooly's back. I'm not even gonna put tattoo. Oh, it actually came out. Ooh.
Like finding anything out about Wooly is easy because guess what? There's not a whole lot of people who have that fucking name.
Well, yeah, no, but I'm like, I was worried that like I wasn't gonna get exactly what I wanted, but no, I can see it right here, and that looks pretty fucking fantastic.
Right. You should write it as like a true fan of them and write Darlington back. Did you ever hear that? That's his actual name.
Yeah.
Darlington.
No, yeah, that's. Yeah, no, I'm glad he stuck with Wooly Madden.
Yeah, and whenever they're out eating, he calls himself Will. I don't know why this suddenly became a a Wooly fan podcast, but Cloudy, in case someone wants to let us know about what they would get tattooed, where could they send that?
Oh, I'm glad you asked, because they can send their ideas on what and where to get tattooed to our inbox at webcastrelief@gmail.com.
So in case someone wanted Steve-O's face on the testicles, they could send us a sketch of how that was going to look on webcastrelief@gmail.com.
Yes,
Sick.
definitely.
But until then, we do have some letters.
We do have some. We got one from... Our first question comes from Jericho. Oh, okay. So here's a question.
This is going to be great. Like, when you have to go, okay, then you know you're in for a treat.
All right, so... This one has like a canonical answer, but I want you to describe this, Lasse. Kind of a meme, but what do non-stand users see? With part 6 dropping, what's the best JoJo stand battle? Yes, you may include Diesel as a treat. Sincerely, Jerry.
Well, so they don't see anything. They can't see the stands. That's the whole thing.
Like if Star Platinum comes up to your face, no. Best example: Star Platinum walks up to Steely Dan and beats the ever-loving shit out of him, knocking him, flying him into the wall. From an outsider perspective, if you were like 5 feet away from him, what you would see?
It's just gravity kicking his ass.
Basically, yeah. Like, this man with his hands in his pocket, and this other guy slowly floating up as he looks like he's getting, like... You're seeing, like, the end of his fist through his back, and then finally, he goes flying into the wall, and the wall still fucking breaks.
That was what made Jotaro so fucking cool. Which was just, like, him with his hands in his pocket, and then a dude just, like, gets fucking murked. Like... Imagine how that would look from the outside. Just like he looks at you and you die.
But you don't die in like a, oh, my heart kind of way. No, you're just gonna wake up with like 20 welts on all over your body. Just because of all these fucking indent marks of some fist.
Inside a building.
Inside a building?
Yeah, because you've just been thrown across the street.
That fucking, like, wall is gone. You're gonna have to talk to your insurance company about that one, buddy.
What was that?
No, Stan here is... first off, I think Jerry just doesn't know anything about, like, JoJo, so there we're asking, one, what do Stan users see, and two, what is, in your opinion, the best, stand battle?
Wow, that's actually a pretty interesting question.
Yeah.
I think...
Like,
okay, go on.
I'm going to just say this right now. My favorite is, like, the finale of part 6. So, I'm not going to explain why. But, like, that's always going to be high on my list. And that's, like, from the start of the insanity all the way up to the scene when my boy Weather Report comes in. Like, from beginning to end, that's my favorite.
I think,
and I'm not going to explain any more than that.
I think with that one and mine, it's a testament to how good Araki is with his art, in that he uses the scene that the characters are in. Typically when you have like a manga or anime or something, the scene that the characters are in are sometimes rather irrelevant. Like it's not that like, okay, this is a shitty example, but it's just the first one that comes to mind. Like both in Bleach and in Dragon Ball, there's a mountain in the background. That mountain is of no importance. It's just gonna disappear once like the scene changes or something. But when you have like in JoJo, when they're in a location, Araki is fucking remembering exactly where they are in this location, and they will use the things in that location to their benefit. Like in your part 6 one, there's a point where they are going flying. I'm trying to be vague, and they have to use the environment around them to stop this, and you can only do that if you have solidified what your scene is. And my favorite stand battle, I think, is Kira versus Josuke at the end of part 4.
Yeah, that is also a very good one, because like a lot of shit is fucking happening, and all the background works really. It all comes to fucking together, because like from where it starts and how it ends, it's fucking nuts.
Yeah, and there's things happening in both your fight and mine that are only possible because of the location that they're in. To the point where fucking Kira dies because of the location he's in.
Exactly. Just, I'm not gonna spoil the ending to part 6, but I'm like, the finale is worth it. You're gonna have a fucking trip at the end of it, my guys.
Yeah, it goes places.
I will say one of them is the Kennedy space station. Sorry. Where the fuck is Mickey Mouse?
Where the fuck
is Mickey's not here, it ain't Disney.
That one and Steel Ball runs. Hey idiot, fall off your horse and die are my favorite bits of dialogue in JoJo. Hey JoJo, call him an asshole. No, I'm not gonna do it. You do it. All right, fine. Hey asshole, fall off your horse and die.
Something that Araki gets so goddamn well is making good fucking characters and just being So good.
My favorite thing about part 6, real quick, is still that they introduce Anastasia as a girl, and without ever bringing attention to it, it's suddenly a man. They don't mention the change at all, even though her appearance changes completely. But you just know that there was a phone call where Araki was told by his editor, yeah, that's not gonna happen. This lesbian shit, no. And so, are we gonna change who Jolene's love interest is or anything? Lol, no. It's just a guy now.
Joke's on you, trans representation, fucker.
Yeah.
we just... Oh, I love it.
What you were about to say?
I love it. Something, I'm trying to, like, recapture my thoughts, but it was something about, like, the thing that Araki does best is just make really good fucking characters and just playing them out. Because everything's fucking crazy, and I love it. Acknowledges that is...
Oh, they do acknowledge it. I never caught that. Because I remember at one point, I'm like, wow, Anastasia looks a lot like a man now. And then, like, I think I was actually talking to Cody at the time. I was like, what the fuck? And he's like, oh yeah, they just changed it into a guy. Huh.
Yeah. Oh.
Alright. I'm gonna flip it around. Wait. What is your least favorite stand then?
My least favorite stand battle or stand in general?
Fuck it, pick either.
Okay. It's the sun from part 3.
Yeah.
Because it was such a nothing of a chapter. Because like, the entire time, it was just like everybody hiding in a fucking cave, like, wondering where the fuck's the stand user, what's going on? And like, everyone's in like dire straits, and like Joseph's having a fucking like mental breakdown because like he can't see through anything. He's like, man, I need to take care of these kids. I need to be the one to like save them. Like, they're depending on me. And then everyone just starts fucking laughing their ass off because they notice the sky's mirrored or some bullshit.
Yeah.
They throw a rock and the guy just dies. It wasn't interesting. It wasn't clever. It was fucking stupid.
2 rocks.
I guess funny. That was the 2 rocks funny. 2 rocks funny. That's basically what that shit boiled down to. So yeah, I would say that's like my worst. That's like my least favorite that I've ever had to go through in the series. Well, again, to be fair, I have not binged through part 8 yet, which it is done now. Yeah, I should. Yeah, it's hard to like grasp that. I don't think I've still properly processed that part 8 is finished. That shit was going on when I was still in high school.
I haven't even processed that part 8 is a thing, because I've tried to read that several times, and I'm just like, what in the fuck? Because you come.
No, that's why I told my. Yeah, it's fucking nuts.
Because you come from part 7, which is no hyperbole, the best JoJo there ever was, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, no.
And then you
definitely.
And then you go to part 8, and it's just like. It leans heavily into Araki's I don't give a fuck state of mind, where he just like, oh yeah, there's a dude here. What's his deal? You know what his deal is? He just vomits all the time. Really? That's his thing? Yeah, he vomits all the fucking time, bro.
No, but like the protagonist, you don't understand the greatest revelation. Yeah. He has 4 testicles because he's twice as manly.
Count it, bitch. 1, 2, and then 2 more. 4 testicles. That's quick maths.
Quick maths. Like, how do I put this? Part 7 is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yeah.
Part 8 is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yeah. I think that's a great way to put it.
Yeah. You just shift the emphasis.
Yeah, absolutely. I think my least favorite fight is, I don't recall the stand name of it, but it is in part 6. and it's the one where there's like this. I think it's an old man or something who has a dial with a dragon on it that makes people get fucking pissed or some shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The whole prison riot thing. Yeah. Was it the prison riot?
I don't fucking
know.
I remember reading it. I was just like, this is the least interested I've ever been in a fucking JoJo fight, and I've read since part 1.
Sorry, I just thought back to part 1. It's like, this is my unblockable attack, and Dio stops it.
Part 1 was so fucking like, I like part 1. I don't know why people keep saying you should skip it. Like I'm gonna put I have this sword and it says luck on it, but you need more than that. And then like he takes his bloody finger and he writes a P on it because you also need pluck. And like, okay, and Speedwagon is Speedwagon in that, where like even Speedwagon is afraid and all this shit. Like, oh, dire and straights. Why? Who gives a fuck? Jack the Ripper's in there and he's got a big fucking knife. I think there's like the art is all over the fucking place. It is fucking crazy.
I love it. Chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Kill Jack the Ripper without spilling a drop of this wine.
Yeah.
Fight this notorious serial killer. Punch him.
Okay,
he's a vampire.
How am I gonna showcase this super cool briefing technique? Oh, that's simple. I'm gonna punch the shit out of this frog. And the frog is not gonna get hurt.
Frog friend! My frog friend! Oh, he was okay.
Like, surely there must have been a better way.
No, frog friend.
And
he had a great assistant.
And then of course there's Battle Tendencies, which is just a fucking episode of Indiana Jones, and I fucking live for it. It is so fucking good.
It's Indiana Jones if he teamed up with the Nazis at the end. Yeah. You know, that's what made it better. You know, German science is the greatest in the world.
Also, Joseph is just like fucking fantastic.
Everything about... That's the thing, like, you're hard-pressed to find, like, somebody... You're hard-pressed to find a part you don't like, because there's always something great about every single part of JoJo.
I will still say,
no matter what it is,
that part 5, easy. I don't like part 5.
I don't like part 5 either, to be honest with you. And I will say a lot of that is because I grew up during the era where we only had the Duang translation.
Oh boy.
Like, I have not read the translated manga for part 5 yet. I've seen the fucking anime and like, maybe it's better when everything's comprehensible. I mean, it was, but I still think it's the weakest one. But there's no shit you can like about it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's like you imagine hating somebody so goddamn hard. You don't just kill him once. You kill him forever. Infinite. You just every way he dies, I will find him. And it'll all be randomized. Yeah.
What was it? I had it and then I lost it. Yeah. I love the thing, the call to adventure for what's his name? Gio? Like the protagonist? Giovanna, yeah. I love his call to adventure. Like, what prompts him to start this entire thing? It is it is 2 panels in the comic of him seeing kids using drugs. And he's like, I don't want fucking any of that. I want to become a gang star. And that is what spurs this entire thing on. These kids, never seen again. Weren't seen prior, were never seen after. Fuck them. But they take drugs, I don't like drugs. I'm gonna go on this crazy adventure where I'm gonna fight God.
A gang star still isn't a thing. Imagine, like, I don't want to be a gangster. I want to be a gangstar. What do? They do everything gangsters do, but without the drugs, because we're stars.
They apparently drink pee and can drink pee good because they have algae or something in the tube. It's fucking weird.
I can't remember if this was, like, actually in the anime or not, but there was, like, a discussion about, like, meat tastes good if the meat ate grass first. But like lion meat would probably taste bad because they only eat other meat. So people meat would probably taste like shit. But then someone chimes up, well, I'm a vegetarian, and then he says, give me your fucking flesh. I'm gonna try you right fucking now. I don't remember if that was just in the Duong sub or if that was like weird.
I don't know. They did have some weird fucking conversations in that show. I'm thinking one of the things that I love the most about JoJo, like it has some you can give JoJo a lot of flack, and a lot of it is sometimes often well deserved. But it's actually like it seems when the stand fights and all that was going on was honestly always very engaging. But I still think one of the things that I love the most about JoJo as a whole is when you can tell that like the repercussions of Araki riding off of the seats of his pants. That is one of my favorite things in JoJo. Like, Dio is going to have every power, like every stand power that all the other stand users have. But won't that make him basically immortal? You're right. Fuck it. Time stop powers. What was the thing in Part 5? Yeah, so there's this dude, Purple Haze. He basically just releases nerve gas. That sounds incredibly busted, Araki. You're right. Let's remove him from the crew.
Don't tell him the logistics. It's less. You're only gonna kill off that character.
And then there's times where he just ceases to give a fuck. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna take this character in Part 6 that already has a very, very well-defined power, and then we're going to make it so that this power now causes rainbows that turns people into frogs or snails or something. And like, but
frogs and snails.
All right, and like, but how does that work? Shut the fuck up. They try to explain it, and it's like, fucking, huh?
Listen, it's my favorite stand for a reason. They can do whatever the fuck it wants.
Yeah.
You know, I know I like mentioned this to you when we were like watching our shows, and we brought up One Piece. Like, I like it when like stories can have like details that are called back to that are like insignificant at first, but become super relevant later on. But I also love seat of the pants writing like Araki's when, you know, you don't have to keep track of little details.
Yeah.
I can have one, but not the other. I can't have them both. But I can have them like both separately. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, I love crazy dumb shit. Yeah, that is. I hope we answer your questions, Jerry. Go enjoy JoJo, please.
Yeah, please.
It's a great time.
If nothing else, enjoy the music.
Fucking like it has not had a single opening that wasn't a fucking bop.
Nope.
That's a testament. You believe you're a snail so much you become one. What? Yeah.
Do we have another question?
We got a couple. I'll grab another one. Yeah, we got a couple of fuck, marry, kills from Caesar.
What the fuck? I haven't done that in ages.
So you know the concept of fuck, marry, kill,
yes,
then?
I do.
Okay, so here's the first fuck, marry, kill. And for your webcomic relief boys over here, Leoyan, Mora, or Christian?
Fuck. Fuck. Because like I'm at the cusp where I'm like, okay, fuck Mora, because at least there's some big ass titties. But then again, that will probably give me every STD known to man. But I'm not gonna fucking fuck Christian.
You know, I'm having like the same thought process as you, because I'm like, I actually think the optimal strategy here is you fuck Leoian, you marry Mora, and you kill Christian. Because, like, say what the fuck you want about, like, Mora Linda. She has a fucking stable-ass, like a company for some fucking reason, but she does. Yeah. So she's got more stable income than the both entire net worth.
Maybe you will get protected by like her offer protection thing where nothing bad is ever gonna happen to you.
Exactly. So I do think that's like a good idea.
And one of these people is an actual criminal, which is Chris. So
yeah, so nothing of value was lost.
Yeah, so fuck Leorian, marry Mora, kill Chris.
Lassa, you know, do you remember back in like our D&D session when Corey and Mora became like an item together?
Yeah.
That actually has like become canonized in the campaign I'm playing right now.
Perfect.
Like to take a lot of things to simplify a lot of things. Like Mora is Corey's ex-wife, and she's hunting him down for alimony. And that is just their entire existence.
So I need to set the stage. So we were playing D&D with Luke McKay as a great DM, and at one point we're like, I think we're finishing off a session, and
it was the second to last one when she came in.
Yeah, but I remember we were finishing the session off, and Luke is like playing around with some characters that he's made, which was really cool to play with him because he had like made every character himself, and everyone knows that Luke is a fucking fiend when it comes to art. And then all of a sudden, he's like putting all these figures on the board just to see like how they work on the board. And then you just see fucking Mora, and dread just fucking fills me. And then like there was a bunch of like unfortunate happenstance that meant that Claudia's character ended up having sex with Mora.
Let me explain it, because I have fun explaining this, because it was hilarious. So, Corey was, I guess we can call Corey was like the quote-unquote captain of the ship, the leader of the party. So, thankfully, Riser just had to stand there in fear, and I had to be the one to take the initiative to kick Mora off. You know, we're not going to have a fucking stowaway here. And anyone who plays D&D knows, like, a bard's favorite spell, Suggestion, which I use on Mora, and she passes her check. But not only that, because through some weird arcane bullshit, meaning, like, she's got this weird Archfey Warlock trait, whatever. Point is, that suggestion spell that was used on her bounced off, went right back to Corey, and he was under her command because Corey failed his fucking check with a nat 1. So Mora, in her infinite wisdom, is like, oh, you're the captain of the ship, huh? Come here, well, I'm gonna take care of you. And then they fucked for, like, an entire goddamn night. And she basically fucked her way into our crew.
So Corey was in the doghouse.
I mean, I guess. No, doghouse would assume that you wouldn't get any. Oh. He tried to claw his way out, and then she grabbed his tail and was like, "Come back here, I'm not done with you."
So that was
actually, it was funny. It was great. It was funny. I had a good time. That was hilarious. And I now love that we're making that mini adventure we had canon in our campaign, and now Mora's just hunting down my character for alimony because they had a child together in the time skip.
Perfect.
It was great. Do you want to do another fuck, marry, kill, or do you want to end it here?
Fuck, give me one more.
Okay. Okay. I don't know who any of these people are. Oh, I know who one of them are, but you. This is probably best for you. Fuck, marry, kill. Simon Viklund, Hideki Nagamura, or Mick Gordon.
Ooh. So I would fuck Mick, just because I think that we could have some awesome sex to the Doom soundtrack. I would marry Simon Viklund because that man has not made a single track that I did not like. And I would kill the last one because I don't have any personal affinity to that. I think they make some great music. Nakamura, right?
Naganuma.
Oh,
that's the
ain't nothing like a funky beat.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, I don't have nearly as much of a personal stake in him. Like he don't get me wrong, he makes some fantastic bangers, but like with Mick and Simon, I'm just like, mwah, chef's kiss.
Very fair. I have like no affinity to any of them, so.
Well, if you check out the next webcomic we'll leave, there's gonna be credits made by Simon Viklund.
Hey, that's some good fucking foreshadowing! Which, by the way, when can we expect to see that new episode, Lots of My Good Man?
Well, once my fucking computer decides that it wants to render this thing, after this, I will obviously have to render the podcast. So I'll try and render it tomorrow. I'm not gonna put my computer through another all-nighter. And then I'll probably like render while I'm working or something. I don't know how long it's going to take because again there's been some issues with it rendering, but you will probably get it before the week is over.
Fucking swag. Alrighty. I think we're good there.
Yeah. I think we actually had planned to talk about One Piece and Hajime no Ippo, but we can do that next week.
Oh yeah, especially. Actually, I will say this just because like I had trouble. I was like worried about trying to find Hajime no Ippo because it's an old series. Apparently, you can just find the whole fucking thing on YouTube. It's great.
Perfect. Yeah. And meanwhile, I get a strike for trying to make a fucking analysis of Gurren Lagann. Thanks, YouTube.
I'm still salty about that.
I too. I dedicated that shit to my fucking dad.
Man, fuck YouTube and the copyright policies.
Yeah, fuck him. Alright, fuck it. We out.
Bye, everybody.
See you guys next time. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Lightspeed.